When I was a little girl, I knew that someday I wanted to be a mommy, but it always came second to a career. I want to be a ballerina and a mommy, a veterinarian and a mommy. Though I knew I wanted children, it clearly was not my calling. My formative years were spent in the 70s, the coming of age of the powerful women's lib movement. My teenage and college years blossomed in the empowered women can have it all of the me decade, the 80s. And my adulthood was spurred on by the 90s, the decade that produced the Sex and the City version of a woman, when masculine traits and blind ambition were coveted. At that time, it wasn't really cool to choose to be a mommy, especially in the big city where we lived. You were expected to work your way up the ladder of privilege and power, and once you proved yourself, once you had landed the glamorous job and the matching wardrobe, the handsome, successful husband, the stylish condo in the right sought-after city neighborhood, the fabulous friends that always got the best tables in the best restaurants, then, and only then, was it acceptable to have the perfect child. Which, of course, came with a perfect nanny and the perfectly balanced working mom's lifestyle, which all fit neatly into your Franklin planner and your designer diaper bag, nice and tidy. A sucker for slick marketing, I bought in 100%. I was gonna be that woman. I could have it all. Pregnancy came quickly and easily, and it fit right into my planner. I sailed through those 9 months unfazed with my stylish pumps and my laptop. Our son was born rosy, round, and perfect, just as we expected. He was the final jeweled accessory on our gilded life. With him, I became even more powerful. I was the original I don't know how she does it woman, and I glowed with the accomplishment and the praise and the compliments that came with it. We projected the perfect image of young, urban, professional parenthood. We had all the right stuff: the lavish nursery, the peg Perego, the exercaucer, the burpee, the boppy, the binky, the baby Bjorn. But while I had all the trappings of motherhood, I really didn't get it. The whole mothering thing. They couldn't inject you with it like they did the epidural, and it didn't come branded like all the other stuff. I didn't really feel any different. I hadn't changed. I had a baby. I slipped back into my pencil skirt and my stilettos, and I went back to the office. Then one day, our perfect 9-month-old baby boy came down with just a cold, or so we thought. 24 hours later, there we stood in the pediatric ICU, learning that it was bacterial meningitis, and listening to doctors say things like critical condition, death rate 1 in 5. Half that survive will have serious long-term brain and nervous system complications, and we'll discuss those tomorrow if he makes it through the night. If he makes it through the night. The word if shot through my brain like a bullet. It was in one side and out the other in a second, and it just left a searing path. It took me a minute to realize that I was in pain. If. Not my life, but his passed before my eyes. What if he didn't make it? What if he wasn't going to grow up to become the man that his DNA and his destiny could propel him to be? What if he simply disappeared from this earth? In that moment, all pretense, ego, vanity, and pride disappeared. In that moment, what he was, my little crown jewel, became less important than who he was. His own little person, with an entire life to be lived and a purpose to be fulfilled. In that moment, I became a woman that would gladly give it all up, who would willingly die for her child to have the opportunity to live. In that moment, 9 months after I had given birth to him, I really, truly, humbly became his mother. He did make it through the night, and in the days and weeks that followed, as I sat at his bedside and learned to care for the IV lines and administer the medications at home, and I waited for the battery of tests that would show that there was no neurological damage, I knew that I would never be the woman that I was before that big if. And I didn't care, because I was a mother. I was his mother. Nothing else mattered.